the recreational marijuana use has become a large topic in today's society, with multiple states beginning to legalize the drug for recreational use. And being in high school, I'm very familiar with those that have used the drug, and that's what I've always based my opinion on, but I never really knew much about the people that I knew used it. And so I just figured that I was against it because I never used it and I wasn't friends with people that used it. But then I talked to my mom's friend who works for a nonprofit drug rehabilitation center, and she knew all about the legalization of the drug and how society could actually benefit from it. And so when I was talking to her about that, I began to see all the benefits that it could have on health, the society, the economy, and my mindset was also influenced when I read that in 2011, there were 663,032 arrests for possession of marijuana, which was more than the arrests for all violent crimes combined. And that kind of got me thinking, why are they focusing so much on arresting people for possession of marijuana over serious crimes that are being committed? So after extensive research, I strongly believe that the recreational use of marijuana must be legal in all 50 states. Those that get in discussions about marijuana are usually told that it's a gateway drug, and for those of you that don't know what that means, a gateway drug is a drug that is thought to lead to the use of more dangerous drugs, and many people that use it think that as they use it long term, it develops a habit of using greater drugs like cocaine or heroin. But those that don't know much about it or they're not educated on it really believe that marijuana is the gateway drug. And that it's been said that people who begin smoking marijuana get a sense of security about drugs and they progress to using harder drugs. And the way that you can figure that is that these people are feeling that each time they're using it, they're not getting that same high that they've been getting, and so they think that, oh, I need to change this drug, when in reality they don't. People think that marijuana is the drug that has the worst health risks because it can cause damage to your lungs and it can also kill your brain cells. But unfortunately, many people don't know that there is a truth behind these stereotypes that is not getting out there. And marijuana actually has very low addictive levels, and it's actually okay to use recreationally. There are no biological properties that lead to the physical dependence of marijuana, and alcohol and nicotine addiction rates are much higher and cause more severe problems, such as cancer with nicotine or like tobacco, and drunk driving with alcohol. According to the United Nations 2012 World Drug Report, marijuana is the world's most widely used illegal substance, but yet has only 9% of users that become addicted. And what people don't understand is that they're never comparing that number to the 32% of tobacco and 15% of alcohol users that become addicted to their substances. There's more ways to get that high off of the drug than just smoking it and damaging your lungs, and that comes from edibles, which have the same effect, and that can save your lungs. And then people say, well, what about your brain cells? You're killing them. But we're losing brain cells every day. It's not just because of people that are using marijuana. We can lose our brain cells from air pollution, lack of sleep, and even just certain health conditions that you're in. Alcohol and tobacco are both legal drugs that kill the same amount of brain cells as marijuana use does. And the damaging effects that come from the brain cells that you're losing from marijuana are less than that come from the hard hits that you get to the head in contact sports. So why is marijuana considered illegal when contact sports are not? After considering this side of marijuana, people need to vote for the legalization to improve our society as a whole. The benefits for decreased crime and a lot greater economy and better health are much greater than the smaller amount of sorry. Okay, so, well, you need to think of other people when you're voting on the legalization, not just yourself, because if you don't use a drug doesn't mean that it shouldn't be banned completely. And if society is going to be helped, why wouldn't we end up taking the ban away? Also, you should not stereotype users because you do not know them. there are some very successful people that actually have used marijuana openly, and people don't understand that. Everyone in here needs to think about your stance on it, and if you still think that it should be illegal, you need to do your own research, because your opinion of it will change, because just like mine did. I know I stereotyped, and I regret doing that, because I've gotten to know some people that I know that use it, and now I'm actually friends with them. And society is horrible for doing this, making assumptions on what people do rather than actually who they are. And so I want you guys to get to know someone who uses marijuana before you judge them and falsely accuse marijuana of being a gateway drug. That one part. Yeah.
Do you think even if it is legal, it'll still be kind of looked down upon?
I would say yeah, because like obviously you have people that, like I know I've talked to some people and they think that that all marijuana use is bad, so like, I mean, that's probably not gonna change it, cause I know people that think alcohol use is bad and like tobacco use, but I don't think that would change. I mean, I think other people would see more benefit in it, and so it would be a less, but I don't think it would be completely, like, everybody would be for it.
If it were legal, do you think there'd be like restrictions on it, like with alcohol you can't be intoxicated in public, or like smoking you can't smoke in public places? Do you think there'll be like restrictions like that?
Yeah, I would say, just because like with like the smoking thing, like regular smoking, some people don't want like secondhand smoke, which like it does give off secondhand smoke too, but if they put that on that, then there's no concern for that. So yeah, I would say, and like I know in Colorado it's like you can only have like 1 ounce of it, like it's not, you can only have that in your possession, like more than that you're not allowed. Yeah.
How old would you have to be to like possess it or do it?
I would say they would put either 18 or 21, depends on, because like for tobacco use it's 18, so I would probably say 18, but since alcohol is 21, they might make it 21.
And what do you believe to be the one thing that has to happen in order for recreational marijuana to be approved and become legal?
I think the one thing that has to happen is that people need to be more educated on it, because like me, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know, like people would say like that you could use it to improve health, which I was like, well, that's dumb, you can't do that, because like people use it just to get high. But I think that people need to be more educated on it, because if they could see the benefits that it would have, I feel that more people would vote on it.
And who do you believe is responsible for that education?
I would say schools, like all through like elementary school we've been taught like don't do drugs and stuff, but like I still think that if they were to explain about how it could actually benefit, it might change their perspective. I mean, they might not be telling us that you should go out and do it, but at least people would be educated on what the effects are.
All right.